This is a deal and a half. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the free trade-in game collection challenge, the series where we pick up games for free, put them on a shelf and just go, that is nice. If you've missed any of the previous 9 episodes, go back and check them out. It will explain everything that you see behind me and how we acquired it for free. Spoiler alert, last episode we picked up a Wii U console, which came with 3 Wii remotes, and we got £61 trade, I think, in CEX, which we added, I think, that little row of games and a Switch game, the Survivalists. Not bad. We're going to do something very similar this week. We're going to take things into CEX and get some more games, because why not? So, the Wii U was paid for by the Wii Mini. Now, if you don't remember, weeks and weeks ago, we picked up a Wii Mini, bunch of games, some extra controllers, and I bought a DSi XL at the same time. The DSi XL sold, the game sold, and I think 1 or 2 other things from that thing sold as well, which paid for everything. It paid for the DSi XL, it paid for everything that we traded in, and it paid for the Wii Mini. The mistake I made was I added cash profit then for the Wii Mini to the overall profit, which I shouldn't have done because I hadn't sold it. It was essentially still part of the collection. It's just not on display because I don't want it. I want to sell it. It's been up for sale for quite a while. Annoyingly, I sold it yesterday and then the person said, oh, my wife just bought one, can I cancel it? I think that's a lie, but it is what it is. It will go eventually. I will sell it eventually. So when it does eventually sell for £45–50, which is roughly what I want to sell it for, I'm not going to add that cash balance back onto the profit. It's just going to say, well, that paid for the remainder of the Wii U, because the Pro Controller sold for £15, or the unofficial Pro Controller sold for £15, and Mario Kart still has to sell for a tenner. Once it does, that's the 70 plus back, and we're laughing. So, this week I'm going to make a rule change. Again, last week I made a rule change and then didn't act upon it, so I said we were going to take 5, 10, maximum of about £20 from the profit, the cash profit, if we really need to make up a console. So like that Wii U deal, it was too good to leave there, and I had to go quite far to get it, but it was worth it. I've played the hell out of Mario Kart this week. It is a lot of fun. That Wii U, by the way, is underrated as hell. It's such a good console, and I'm gutted that it didn't get the overall support that I think it deserved. It was just overcomplicated by Nintendo, I think. That the adverts and the trailers and everything just did not do it justice. I didn't even understand it until I bought it and plugged it in. I was like, oh, actually, that's pretty simple. It's basically a Switch without the Joy-Cons. I mean, kind of. It is, essentially. But either way, maybe the Wii U or the Switch is what they wanted the Wii U to eventually be. But either way. So I'm going to make a change to the way we pick up Switch games. I was going to run a separate series, but ultimately I want to display everything behind me, and I don't want to have to like explain, oh, we picked this up in that series and we picked this up in that series. So even though it's called the free trade-in game collection, I'm going to mash it together, because otherwise people are going to get confused. So Switch games, I'm going to acquire however the hell I want to, but they are going to have to pay for themselves. So if I buy a Switch game on Vinted, eBay, or Boot Sale or whatever, I have to buy something else to offset the price. So if I buy a £10 Switch game, I've got to buy something and sell that thing to make a £10 profit to pay for the Switch game. Does that make sense? I'm not going to do it that often, because I don't really like doing that. I don't like paying actual money for games, because it feels like I'm paying money for games, even though I'm not, because I'm selling the whatever it is for a profit. But CEX prices are extortionate for Switch games, for the most part. I will still pick up the odd one if it's a reasonable price. But yeah, we're going to have to just acquire Switch games that way. Otherwise, we're never going to get any, because they're just too overpriced. So this week, a deal, not for the ages, but it is a decent deal. First time picking up one of these in the series, not my first time picking one of these up, full stop. Steam Link. These are pretty good.
You're a PC gamer, so this is where you play. But PC gaming has always been about options. So why shouldn't you be able to play wherever you want?
I don't have one in my personal arsenal, if you will, and I don't think I ever want one. Essentially, you plug this into any device like TV or whatever downstairs in another room. it will connect via Ethernet or Wi-Fi, I think, to your Steam library, and you can play games through that TV, monitor, whatever it may be, from your Steam library on your PC, in the other room, upstairs, whatever. It's a good little device. It is clever. It cost me £5, and it still has, I won't take it out of the box because it's effort, but it still has the little strip that goes around the outside of it. So this has been used maybe once. It's probably set up and then it was just left there and they never used it and then they sold it. So £5, had to pay a little bit of postage, had to pay a little bit of a fee. So I'm going to allocate £8 to this. Wow. That's impressive. This will sell for between 30 and 40 because it is in very good condition. I'm not even sure they make these anymore. People are paying about 40 quid. They're paying 120 sealed, which is crazy. I'm gutted they opened it, but you know, it is what it is. That's going to give me about 30, 35. All right, we're going to aim for that amount. Then what did I do? Then I picked up something very frustrating indeed. So I went on Facebook and I saw a game bundle, and I was out at the time as well. I was in my local town doing some shopping. I was bored, and I was on Facebook, and I saw a deal, and I was like, ooh, I want it. Bunch of PS4 games, recently reduced down to 15 quid. Will you take a tenner? Yes, I will. I'll be there right now. I go to pick them up, and here they are. Now, this isn't... it's so frustrating. There are the games, right? We have Persona 5, trades in for about £10. We have Black Ops 3, trades in for about £5. We have NBA 2K19 is like £1.60 or something. FIFA 20, £1.60. Little Big Planet 3 with marker on it to cross out the extra edition. I'm guessing at one point this was traded into game. It isn't the extra edition because obviously you need the DLC codes. They don't come with the codes, so I think a game employee has literally just scrubbed out everything with marker. I hope CEX don't care because that trades in for about £6, I think. So I think all in all, I mean, I'm not 100% sure how much that trades in for, but I think that's around £26. Maths might not be right. Maybe Little Big Planet 3 is actually £10 trade. I don't know. I think that trades in for about £26. I think I've done my maths on it. I actually put it into the CEX website. And then we have these useless things here. These are FIFA copies. We have FIFA 15, 16, 17. They skipped 18, didn't like 18, bought 19 and then 20. So they will go on a shelf, not in the collection, but they will go in a shelf and I will just bundle them with a PlayStation next time we pick up a PS4. So they're going to go there. I know what you're thinking. Hang on, in that photo, I swore I saw Bloodborne. You did. Didn't get it. I knocked the door. You had to pick up the games. Yep. There they are. Thank you very much. There's a tenner. Job done. Walked away. Started looking at them and think. The first one I looked for was Bloodborne because it trades in for £16. It's not there. Turn round. I knocked the door. I was like, no, I'm not having this. Knocked the door. There's a game missing. What game? Bloodborne? Oh, that's sold. Tell me then, dick. Oh, Christ. Still going to make a decent amount of trade on it. I'm technically £16 trade profit, but still very, very, very annoying because I would have been £32 trade profit, but it is what it is. So we spent a tenner on those games, £8 on the Steam link, so that takes me up to 18. Then I bought a PS4 game that I actually wanted to keep, and I've played it. I don't like it. Sonic Mania Plus. This was a bargain. This cost me £3 plus postage and a little bit of a fee on top. So we're allocating a fiver. Mad. £5 for this. It trades in for 16. Now, unfortunately, I don't like it. I thought I love Sonic, and I just went to watch Sonic 2. Really enjoyed it. First one was better, but still, I really enjoyed both the Sonic films, which is mad because game to movie films are generally quite bad. But this was really disappointing. It's just a mashup of classic levels that you can play with Tails or Sonic or Knuckles or two of the other new characters. And I'm not a big fan. I guess a traditionalist, if that's the word. I just prefer the old levels and the way that they used to be. Unfortunately, I ain't keeping it. I'm going to trade it in today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is a deal and a half. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. This was posted 3 hours ago, 130 quid. It is the the PS4 VR. It's the Mega Pack, so it comes with the camera as well, because a lot of them just come with the headset and obviously the power and everything. This one does come with the camera. That alone, that Mega Pack alone, forget what's on top, that sells for about, I mean, the cheapest one on eBay right now is £200 pre-owned. I'm thinking quick sale, 150 quid. The two Move controllers are 35 each-ish. And then those games trade in for about £18. So, I mean, I could make my money back just on that Mega Pack and either keep the Move controllers for when we pick up a PSVR, or sell them, make even more profit, and just take £18 credit from that and just make money on it. It's up for 130. The description says open to offers. I shot him £100. He said someone's already agreed to 120. I am very tempted to just say, look, I'll give you 130 and I will be there within 5 minutes. Probably won't be there in 5 minutes, but I'm very tempted to do it. I just don't know if it's going to be worth it. I mean, it is worth it. I know it's worth it. There's at least £60 in profit and £18 in trade there. The only problem is, and I do not advise this at all, I have to pay council tax today. And if I buy this, I can't afford council tax. I don't really care, but I'm sure the council would probably moan at me for that. So I think I'm probably going to leave it, but there are so many deals about, and that was one of them, that unfortunately, I'm going to have to let go. So walking around CEX, I've tried to put some stabilization on this, and it probably hasn't worked. It looks very weird to me. Anyway, I'm having a little look around. I had £61 in credit, which obviously isn't enough to buy anything substantial in terms of like hardware or anything, so I'm literally looking at games. The next thing I want to pick up, I think, is going to be an Xbox of some description, because I think we're represented by everything in the collection so far, minus a Microsoft console. So I would like to get an Xbox because it is getting a little bit, it's not tedious because I could pick up PlayStation and Wii U games all day long, but it is getting to the point where I'd like to, you know, add some Xbox games to it as well. And the one thing is that Xbox games are just that much cheaper than PlayStation 4 games, even though they look almost exactly the same, if not exactly the same. It's a weird thing, you know. I don't know why the market is just so much lower, especially in CEX. You know, a game that can cost you £20 on PS4 can be about £13 on Xbox, and it's the same game, and it looks exactly the same. So I don't really understand it, but I think that could be the next console we look to pick up, but we are going to need a substantial amount of money. I have been playing the Wii U a fair bit since recording this video, with one of the games that we pick up in this video, incidentally, and Mario Kart as well that we had from last week. I need a better TV to play it on. That little portable you see behind me all the time, it just doesn't cut it. Anyway, let's get into the pickups. So I kind of regret looking at Facebook, and I also kind of regret going out today. I very nearly didn't, but I needed to go to the post office. Had I not needed to go to the post office to send off a Blu-ray to the US, I would not have gone today because I couldn't be asked. Once I was out, it was fine, but I couldn't be bothered to get ready to go, and I wouldn't have. But then I would have seen the PSVR, and I would be sat here now with a headset on. But that's life. I traded in. Where is it? 5 things? Did I trade in 5? Nope, I bought 5. I traded in 6. I have no idea where the receipt has gone. There it is. Jesus, it's like I'm unorganised. So there it is. £42.20 I picked up from that lot. Sonic Mania Plus, I'll pick it up again. I kept a really good condition slipcover, the art book and the manual, because I will pick it up again. It's not a game that I really want to play right now because I want to play 1, 2 and Sonic and Knuckles. Once I've done them to death and I want something a little bit different, then I'll pick it up. But it still trades in for 16. It seems a little bit silly when it trades in for such a high value to have it on the shelf when it only cost me a £5 all in. So yeah, I traded it, but I've kept the good bits, so when I do pick it up again, it'll still look really good on the shelf because I'll have everything to go with it. She didn't look at Little Big Planet's cover for some reason, so traded in for 8. FIFA 20 and NBA 2K19 traded in for £1.60 each, and Black Ops 3 went in for a £5, and of course Persona 5 traded in for £10, left me with £42.20 in credit. But I had £18.80 from last week because we didn't spend all of the money that we had from the Wii remotes. So it's £61, which is ironically how much the Wii Remote's traded in for. I bought 5 items and I had to pay £1. It came to 62. Christ. It all came to £62. So I added £1. It's still free. You know, I paid £1, sure, but we're going to make it all back in the Steam link. I'm not worried. So the first game, and the game that actually tipped us over the edge, and I wanted to spend it because I had £4 left. I couldn't find a game that I wanted for £4, but I want Wolfenstein. I want all of the games. Loved them on the 360 and before that as well. Played a fair few on PC. Haven't played any of this sort of era. So I think there's 3. New Blood, this one, and there's another one as well. So pick this one up because this one had the manual, the others didn't. It is a 5. I'm trying to hold it so there's no glare on it. That's why I'm holding it at such a weird angle. But that's game number 1. I will play that and I will enjoy it. This game is strange. Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. Why is this strange? Cost me £12. That in the US is around $80. I don't know why. I really couldn't tell you. Loose, disc only, according to pricecharting.com, which is the website that the majority of Americans use to sort of price their games, that is $60, just the disc. $81 complete, and then if you want it new, it's about $105. If you want it graded, anywhere from about $115 up. And the box alone sells for $21, and the manual sells for $20. Absolutely crazy. These are based on actual sold listings as well. It's not just prices that they're pulling out of their arse. I'm looking forward to playing that. I tell you what, I'm absolutely loving the Wii U, so I like it. Big fan. And apparently use the gamepad as well, not a Wii remote. Interesting. Picked up 2 Switch games, even though I said I wasn't going to do that many. These 2 are really weird as well. They are cheap games, like they're 15 quid each. They're not like big branded names like Mario or Sonic or anything, but they are games I think I'd be very interested in. First of which is going to be Empire of Sin. Now this reminded me of a game called Omerta on the Xbox 360. Omerta, whatever it may be. It's like a gangster, I don't know, like you've got to build your mob in this. Omerta's a little bit different, but you know, you're in the 1920s. It's prohibition and stuff. You're in the US. You build up your mob. It kind of looks like some sort of turn-based system. I like it because it's a game you can sort of sit down and casually play and not pay that much attention to if you don't want to. It's not something you have to like, you know, what's going to happen here and have reflexes and everything. I can sort of look away for it for a couple of minutes and then come back to it, which is the type of game I enjoy more these days. £15 for that. It's about £15 brand new, to be honest, but because these games are free, it's fine. This other one is called Surviving the Aftermath on the Switch. Again, another £15 game, which I think is probably about £20 brand new. This is actually available on PS4, and it is £20 in CEX on PS4. I just went for the cheaper option. It's a top-down job. It kind of looks like a really basic version of State of Decay in a sense. I don't know if it's zombies or if it's just a random apocalypse. And I know it's not going to be like State of Decay because it's not going to be as detailed as that. And it's top-down and it's sort of, again, probably turn-based. But, again, I like stuff like this. I absolutely love apocalyptic type things. You know, apocalypse TV shows, films in particular, absolutely love all of them. I say I love all of them. A lot of them are crap, but I will watch them. And then finally, kind of sticking with ye old games. I mean, we've sort of moved forward a couple of decades here, but I picked up on the PS4 Mafia Definitive Edition. Ages ago, I traded in Mafia 3. And I was tempted to pick it up again, but I saw this and I thought the Definitive Edition, if you're going to pick up a Mafia game, you might as well pick up the Definitive Mafia. I don't really know what this is, if I'm honest. I looked at the back and I thought, yep, that's a Mafia game. I'll do it. It's 1930s actually, so I thought it was like 1940s for some reason. I don't know why. I knew it was 1930s. So we've moved over a decade rather than a couple of decades. But yeah, it's complete with the manual, the map, and all that stuff as well. So I'm very happy about that. Good little game. I love Mafia games. I'm kind of an oldie type person, really. Like I really like older things, like the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. Absolutely despise the 60s. Not a massive fan of the 70s. And then I love the 80s and the 90s, obviously. But yeah, that type of that era for things, brilliant. And the 40s, obviously, because Wolfenstein, kind of. Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. good little pickups there, to be honest. We're adding £62 to the collection, which is quite nice. A lot of nice games to be added. But more importantly, we're adding 2 Switch games. So now that brings us up to 5. We have 5 Switch games in the collection. Now, I bet some of you are thinking, 5? Hang on a minute. You've got Survivalists from last week. These 2 ones you've just picked up. The first one you picked up was Paper Mario. How have you got 5? Well, remember in this video where I said I was going to make a rule change and buy a Switch game if we make enough money? Well, we made enough money this episode that I could buy something for a £5. How can you get a Switch game for a £5? The internet is a beautiful place. I picked up a game that I actually put on a list to pick up from CEX. If I found it there, they were charging 15, but it wasn't in my CEX. It is Shaq Fu, which is a game that I used to play the death of on the Mega Drive English. I love that game on the Mega Drive. They've remade it. I mean, I'm guessing this one's not going to be anywhere near as good, but still, they've remade it. It's here. It's very much like the Sonic Mania game, where it was £3, paid a little bit of postage, and it's going to be a £5. Not bad at all. That will be covered in the price of the Steam link, which has now sold, as you've seen already. So we can add that to the shelf, and that makes 5 Switch games. You can see 4 behind me, so there's 5. PlayStation 4 section growing nicely. Consoles coming out of my ears. We have that Berry controller, which I like, right? And I want to keep it. But if we ever need to, £43 in credit right there. So there is a chance. I think we need to flesh out the Mega Drive and PS2 section a little bit more. The problem with PS2 is that CEX don't really have many PS2 games anymore. I don't know why. Mine, anyway. Maybe others are different, but my CEX have a very small section. It's almost the same size as the Wii U section, which is embarrassing in itself. I'm going to 3 car boot sales over this weekend. As you're watching this, I'm probably in a boot sale. So I'm going to try and record as much as I can. I'm hoping to pick up a fair few things. I've got a fair wad of cash with me. Video games tend to go very quickly in car boot sales, so I tend to stick to things like trainers and stuff. But we will see how we get on and if there are any pickups. And if there are enough pickups, there will be a midweek episode. That's going to do it for today, though. The total collection value that has been on your screen for quite a while, I think, is £792. We are very, very close to topping £800. I think the big significant milestone is obvious for me, is going to be £1,000. When we hit £1,000 on this series, that's impressive. I mean, we're at £225 in cash. Obviously, I'm not taking out cash. So, for example, I'm not taking it out when we spend it and then putting it back. It's at total £225. When we make more profit, I'll just add to it. If we lose money over time, I will update it. I'm not trying to con anyone. If we lose money, then yeah, absolutely. But we've not lost money yet, and I can't really see us doing so because I am playing this quite safe. I could probably have a bigger collection now if I went a little bit more sort of hell for leather on it, but I do have other things to do, so it is something that I'm kind of doing as and when I have time on the side. I'm just trying to make sure that I have 1 episode a week. That TV there is frustrating because I'm playing that Wii U on that TV. It's fine. It's just not as big as a bigger TV. I want the TV to go there, and I think I'm going to put it on the wall, and then we're going to have that underneath, and then the Wii U and maybe an Xbox can go there, possibly. And then, yeah, we can have that big TV there, or a TV there, maybe not a big one. I think 32 inches is the biggest I can fit there anyway, because the wall is like, where is it? Just off camera. But either way, that and an Xbox is going to be the next thing we look to tackle, I think. We definitely need to upgrade that TV, because that is horrendous. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, hit the like button. Join me next time for possibly some boot sale shenanigans. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.